Hello, everyone. And depending on when or where you're watching this, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening. Um, we don't really have any announcements today, but well, I'll be the first to welcome you back to the Rolling Nomads, excuse me, Rolling Nomads channel, where we're doing D&D today, continuing where we left off last week with our game Colder Than a Twitch's Wit. We'll get to the recap in a bit, but first, we're going to meet the players.
Good day. I am RA-THERIS, the greatest servant of the ZERRIS. May his grace be upon all, including the orphans whose hands he now owns.
Oh, sorry. I can't. I'm just gonna be here today because I can't.
I still do not know how to refer to RA-THERIS. Might need some help on that one on that front. Not gonna lie. It's really confusing. It's really starting to bug my brain.
Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. I am the ZERRIS. I own no hands, save for these. And, they do only the Lord's work. I need this hand to do the transition. Take it away, David.
All right. Yeah, so the mystery of hands and pronouns. RA-THERIS, if you would kindly get us up to speed as to where we left off.
False, it's me. It's always been me.
Okay. My mistake.
I'm your recap guy. This one is RA-THERIS' relief of duty in this particular game. It all started with a dream. A bad dream. A very bad dream. There was a Sphinx. There was Derek. It kept asking me a question, a riddle. I didn't write it down properly. Luckily, my dungeon master helped me out and just threw it in the chat. So now I get to ponder that for forever. I feel like, is this how players feel? You know, when you give them like a riddle from like a 2-year-old's book and they're like, yeah, they'll get that in 5 seconds. I panicked. It didn't work, but I did wake up remembering the passphrase. I don't remember the passphrase now because I'm a bad person. The Zephyr, I don't know, something like that. I got the password and I changed RA-THERIS' settings, and I don't have to. I'm no longer referred to as master, and that makes me really happy. We also changed a little bit of settings. He's no longer like on instant kill mode, I think. I don't remember. We changed a little bit of settings. We had a conversation about it. I remember Derek in the dream told me that the Sphinx had sent me back and forth in time, so now I don't know what's real. I'm having a crisis of reality, not of faith, not of morals, just a full-on reality crisis. And we turned in our assignment. STIRIA and I, we went to our order, and we spoke with Aloxidon, who is a little bit more floofy and mammothy, and he said it was okay that the person died. Kind of. We only got like a portion of the payment and a stern look. So I'll take it. We didn't get like arrested, so that's cool. Yeah, but we got paid. We're having conversations about what to do next, walking through town. We came across a child that was very cold and wondering where his mother or her mother was. We stopped to talk to the child. Children ran by us and fucking pickpocketed us. Little shits. And the player and the character were at odds. I wanted to fucking murder them. But realistically, ZERRIS would not do that. ZERRIS is kind. So instead, we yeeted magic missiles at them and knocked them unconscious in the snow. Little bastards. NIAM expertly used Entangle. STIRIA used their abilities, their paladin abilities, to kind of commanded them to stop. Wait, who commanded them to stop? It doesn't matter. We used magic to thwart the children. And raw violence. We knocked them out, gathered them up, got our money back, and then...
I just want to point out that I never directly harmed anyone.
I would like to point out I directly harmed
everyone.
The majority of the children.
We distributed...
that 100% that.
Instead of reprimanding them, we gave them some money and told them to show us where their hideout was, if there was more of them, so we can get them out of the cold and hopefully... off the path of theft, so they don't encounter people that are a little bit more violent than us. It would be a shame to see them, in the stockades in the freezing winter, or without their hands.
Or
Indeed.
because they
We
don't.
we shall use their hands for great works.
We are not doing that at all. We are going to. That's it. That's the recap. David, take it away.
Cool. Which, with how you were saying there, how you wanted to just lash out against them, but instead you didn't. That right there, I'm glad I was able to see a good example of that's what my character would do. There's not enough good examples of that out there, so good on you for that.
We all got an experience because we were good people, kind of.
I
Inspiration,
attempted to kill several children, but was restricted in my master's wishes.
Okay, take it away, David.
So,
So now they're taking us to their hideout, I guess.
yes,
Indeed,
they are.
we shall subjugate them.
What? No! No! We're talking
the
the sense.
children-
That's it.
Do the children yearn for the mines? We shall see. In
Of course, they yearn for the mines.
prior to your departure with the children, or rather on the way, you would have run into Todd again, who was the one sort of guiding you through, and then it was kind of more, this is the market and kind of go get what you need. He needed to go and gather some things, being his daughter's birthday tomorrow. So we got her a nice little pendant with the symbol of Odea, the winter deity. And while not magical itself, it is believed to be good luck in colder climates and protection from such things. So I thought that would be a nice gesture. So on to excuse me, the neighborhood. Sorry.
Not new.
But-
I was waving hi to the person we just met.
I thought that was. Hey, I have a question. Okay, no.
No.
Cool. So as they're taking you through, twists and turns and what have you, as if these children are definitely accustomed to not taking the same path back home every time, alternating their routes rather. Excuse me. But in time, you guys find yourself in a more rundown part of the neighborhood. A few homeless people scattered throughout on the side of buildings. Some have little fires that they have going, kind of sheltered from the elements to the best of their abilities. But you come up to a smaller, not quite a house, a tad larger than your standard house, perhaps an old storefront. It's really hard to tell what it used to be back in the day, but it's certainly seen better days. That is for sure. Now, one of the children, we'll say Timothy, he goes up, and for anyone who would like to try and listen in to hear the knock that he's about to do, you can make a perception check. But
Only an 11.
is that an 11?
Yep.
Hold
Nice,
on,
nice.
hold on. Sorry, I'm behaving. 21.
21. Oh, nice.
22.
Very nice, very nice.
I abstain.
Okay. So he goes up, and you just hear. Then it's quiet for a moment. Before the door slowly creaks open, another small child opening it up. You'll hear some undoing of like the old bar style where they just kind of bring it over. And with that, the door is open, and the three children will go in first.
Follow immediately behind them.
Okay.
Follow immediately behind the ZERRIS.
Um,
I'll be yeah. I'll be third.
okay.
I'll go ahead and take up the rear just to be safe.
All right. So inside this building, it looks like it may have been a general store of sorts back in the day. One of the walls has collapsed. Um, it's quite drafty. The outer walls of the building, there are various holes and gaps in the wood, um, and a number of small animal pelts kind of hammered to the wall to kind of work to block the draft. Though notably, none of them are rabbits. There's a lot of foxes and the like. Um, excuse me, acid reflux is not being kind to me today. Uh, water helps. Yeah, good enough for government work. Cool. Um, in throughout the room, there's a number of children, probably about 10 to 12 in total. Um, all wearing similar tattered clothing to what you saw these three wearing. Um, and there are two mattresses, one in each rear corner of the room. No, one of each one has a blanket on it, but it's not a very large blanket, and got it's got enough holes in it to where you're not really sure if it's very helpful. Um, and there's a small stockpile of bread and potatoes, kind of in the just in a little area, kind of off to the side as a sort of a food storage for them. Uh,
Who is your leader?
with that, there's a smaller child comes up to you. This children or this children. Wow. This words are hard. Stay in school. Excuse me. So this child is a herring god. So for those of you who don't know, that's a small humanoid rabbit. Hence why there are no rabbit pelts nailed to the wall, because that would be
Traumatic.
Pretty
That's-
distasteful. Pretty
that would be a
distasteful.
little problematic, pretty distasteful. And as I'm sure you can imagine, while they may be picky for food, rabbit is seldom on the menu.
Fair enough.
No, but this child will walk up, and he looks at you, but he doesn't address you immediately, and instead he speaks to the other. He's like, "What are you doing? What? We do not bring them here. Why did you bring them here?"
These three have assaulted us and are now under our care.
What RA-THERIS means is there was a misunderstanding. What's your name?
Bruno.
Bruno? It's a pleasure to meet you, Bruno. My name is ZERRIS. These are my friends. And I'll turn so that they can introduce themselves.
I'm gonna give like this earnest smile and go like, "Name's STIRIA." It's gonna motion towards RA-THERIS and NIAM.
I'm NIAM.
Say hello, RA-THERIS.
Greetings. I am RA-THERIS, as the ZERRIS has already stated several times. Your inaptitude has clearly required this to be stated directly.
You can ignore him. We're here to help, Bruno.
And time certainly must have gotten desperate enough for your friends here to be willing to steal from people of the order. Might I
He looks at him, he's
ask?
like, why did you? The people that are okay to take. These are not the people that it's okay.
Now,
to take
hold
because
on.
in
They
the-
might not have had a choice in the matter. As I take a look at the surrounding area and notice the decrepitude of the building, they might not have had a choice. They might have gotten a little bit desperate, considering how hard times have been now as of late. But
We don't have a lot of time before the winter gets here, so we need to get the food that we can and the supplies that we can, so that we all make it through the winter.
So this building was disheveled, yes?
Very much so. Yes.
Holes in it and all that?
Yes.
Yep.
ZERRIS. Their hands are yours to take. You do not wish to
Take
remove
their
them,
hands!
yes?
We will not.
We
be-
are not
We
taking
will not be doing
their
that. Rothers.
hands.
Whoa!
We will not be taking their hands from their bodies.
Correct.
We're not taking hands.
taking their
okay?
hands.
Then they
at
will be
all.
put. Then they will be put to use.
They won't.
No.
No.
You are currently in a clerical order, correct?
RA-THERIS.
Hold on.
It-
Styria. What are you getting at, RA-THERIS?
You are in a clerical order, correct?
Yes.
Then they shall be your disciples.
Oh dear.
May I begin repairing this place?
You may begin repairs, RA-THERIS. That would be very much appreciated.
Understood.
Thank you.
You will be his disciples. I look at the leader. You
Upon
three do not have a
discussion-
choice.
Upon discussion, Bruno, you're the leader of your
I'm
married
going to go
band.
start casting mending on the wall.
Excellent.
ZERRIS, you were saying.
You're the leader of your merry band, Bruno.
Yeah, I guess you could call that.
This is likely because you are oldest and most experienced, correct?
Yes. I don't know about oldest, but definitely been around the longest.
Yeah. RA-THERIS does make a point, as crass as he is. The order would take you in if you were to assist them with some work, with some light cleaning, perhaps assistant with ritualistic measures and things. Why haven't you sought out the order before this?
They
Some-
might not
sometimes-
necessarily be too religious, to be perfectly honest.
Sometimes those people come by, and sometimes if they take somebody in, we don't see them come back.
That's certainly strange. That's certainly not how the order is supposed to function.
Then you hear a small kid, "Guess they ate them."
Oh dear.
Would we? Would
No.
Like I'm saying it, and then I hear that, and I just like stop with my like eyes closed, look head turned down, with my and like a hand. It's like, now hold on.
Would Styria and I know is that uncommon? Is that unusual?
For them to eat children?
No, not
Or-
to eat children. Them to go and then not be seen again. Or is it possible that they were tasked with a mission or were given
Sent away to a different monastery,
Yeah.
a boarding
Uh,
school, maybe.
So, from your experience, you would assume that it is most likely because of that. Perhaps they got adopted. Perhaps they were, sent off somewhere else. But that it wasn't necessarily malicious. But this is also, children with their friends disappearing and
Yeah.
probably assuming the worst.
Makes sense.
Well, the being eaten part probably isn't a common belief. The part where sometimes they disappear.
Your friends are. I'm confident your friends are safe. They do not. The order does not eat children.
I want to say that's
I keep telling them to stop telling people that they're eating kids because it freaks everybody out.
Yes.
imagine the amount of damage control that would have to happen if a rumor like such as that were to go across the town.
Quite.
Shall we silence that one?
No.
It's just like,
Continue repairs, RA-THERIS. Thank you.
go back to the holes. Please.
I can do both.
No.
Oh
We would
my.
prefer you to just work on the holes.
Would
There's a board missing here. I require wood. Children, acquire wood.
There isn't really any.
You are thieves.
RA-THERIS, we will gather supplies at a later date. And at a time
Anywho,
later.
and I'm just going to go ahead and look over to Bruno. I'm going to ask, what kind of resources are you going to need? Since there's obvious apprehension upon getting into the order, understandable though it may be, though not with the eating of children, but I still don't understand how that ended up becoming a thought in someone's mind. But knowing that and knowing the quaint state of affairs here, it's obvious some kind of work needs to be done to kind of facilitate being here. So what exactly are you guys trying to do so that maybe we could help?
All right. A quick thing here. While I am new to the channel points thing for Twitch, where this is originally streaming, we're probably not going to have the whole like
Channel
people eating the
points to
kids for
make
real
to
thing.
make the
to make the
cannibals.
cannibalism thing true.
We will get
I like the idea of channel points in general, but
yeah, we will get a channel point menu up very shortly once I am feeling not so sick.
and that's fine. I'm sorry, STIRIA. Just making sure that I was getting your question correct here. You were asking what resources that they would need.
They would need, considering the fact that they're obviously on their own, and they're obviously apprehensive about joining some kind of order or organization because they're afraid of getting separated. What do they need for this specific location to see what needs done, and then see if I can't respond based off of that?
Well, as far as this specific location, excuse me. From what you can see, like, food is definitely something that's in relatively short supply. Although while they have a decent enough supply for now, I mean, you guys caught them in the act, so that what's to say that they couldn't be caught again, stealing food by potentially somebody who actually does take their hands.
You know, someone who's not quite as charitable.
Correct. Also, general supplies such as, I mean, clothing, wood, bedding materials, things of that nature. All of those things would be of great benefit to them, and they grab what they can, but there's only so much that they can do from their position.
But okay, so food's a common issue. Clothing is a common issue. It's obvious
And
they need some work on this location, and judging from how young everyone is, they aren't exactly able to get that kind of work themselves.
correct. Also because of their age. I mean, this is children running a house effectively. Cleanliness is not necessarily to the highest of standards. Not quite sure how old that one mattress is off to the left there, but it might have moved a little bit.
Look over and it's just like, Sir ZERRIS, we really should consider something about this location.
I agree.
And actually, STIRIA, as you know, there's a bathhouse in town that you have already been to. Granted, that was off screen. Excuse me. But such places do charge money because it is a business. Which
Yeah.
So
How much?
and
Sorry, continue, please.
oh, sorry. I was just going to finish with it was kind of a choice between food and cleanliness. The little money that they
They
can
chose
acquire.
food naturally because that's a higher priority.
How many kids are in this area?
So in the room right now, there's about 12 of them.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
Jesus.
Styria.
Might be a bit of an insensitive question to ask, but
Uh,
has there ever been some sort of push to get professions that aren't quite as dangerous as pickpocket?
They're children. How are they going to
Well, obviously, I understand the dilemma there, but
Yeah. Child
We're also
labor is
referring
not super popular up in
but then again, they're
up in
also
this part.
orphans, and they're trying to make do without having to separate.
let's Bruno, if you'll excuse us, we don't as we said, we're here to help. I would love to get your insight in this. What is your prioritization at the time being? If RA-THERIS is able to repair a good number of these holes, what is the next step for everyone? Stockpiling food for the winter, or what's the next item of concern?
We've got 2 out right now getting food. Man, they're a little late coming back, but hopefully they were able to get some stuff.
Okay.
Do you know whereabouts they may have gone to get food? Looking
We
over
go
to ZERRIS, because in my mind, I'm thinking they're late and they're orphans. Something may have happened.
They excuse me. So from what you guys would have seen earlier with your walk around the city, granted it wasn't the entire city, you definitely would have seen that there were a few taverns or like outside of the market area that at the end of the day may have thrown away some food that they didn't finish, or if the children were bold enough, then some of them may have tried to take it before it was thrown out. But between that and the market, probably would have been their best bet to acquire food. Maybe a caravan passing by, like before the food was delivered to market.
All right.
Will their clothes need repairing as well?
Their clothes are definitely.
I'm asking ZERRIS.
Oh, sorry.
Will their clothes need repairing as well?
The description would be helpful.
Oh yes. Well, the children are. They're all dressed in similar attire. Definitely various states of disrepair.
I think I have a plan for their clothing, RA-THERIS. For the time being, out of character
Will they
question,
require cleaning?
out of character question is mending is a cantrip.
Correct.
Oh, sick.
With
Then
a 1 minute casting time.
Then
so
yeah,
it takes
that
a
would
little bit
be
of time, but can definitely be done.
yeah, that would be very much helpful, RA-THERIS, if you would kindly.
Should I clean the clothes as well?
If you could, that would be appreciated.
Prestidigitation is a useful cantrip.
Indeed.
So you guys will hear the same knock that you heard before at the door, and it will be opened, and a half-orc child will come in with a human child close behind. I got potatoes, and he's just got a whole big old bag.
Excellent. Wild.
Why are it's
Mildly
the feds.
impressed, actually.
It's the feds.
It's
No, small child.
I
We
bought
are not.
these. I bought these potatoes.
I am most certain you didn't.
Don't take my hand, please.
We were not going to take your hands. RA-THERIS, don't.
You see
Just
the illusion
take-
around RA-THERIS' hand waver ever so slightly, as if he's about to do something, and then he ceases. There you go, and continues mending.
It's fine. It's fine. They're not taking anybody's hands.
Indeed, you will be inducted into disciples of ZERRIS.
Oh my goodness.
Also, just
Oh,
an option. NIAM, STIRIA,
yes.
we recently came into some coin. I've distributed some from my share. I propose, and by all means, feel free to object, that we make some. We make some repairs. We make some corrections to their living situation. I can, of course, by no means tell you how to spend your own coin, but
Sure.
truth.
You're basically carrying the party's budget right now because
I had fully every intention of distributing the wealth evenly amongst us.
I don't think we had gotten to that part yet because
No,
you
we
guys
haven't
were
gotten
robbed
to.
shortly after.
yeah.
It's. I have.
Don't really have
I
a whole lot of
have.
personal coins
I have the
on-
ability to assist in this.
Excellent.
Let's.
And there's 14 children now because the other 2 came in.
Yeah,
So,
makes sense.
for those curious.
If I'm gonna sort the coin that we have. This is really shitty to do in front of the children. I'm gonna distribute the coin to STIRIA and NIAM. Remind me again. I'm so sorry. We got how much?
It was 100. You gave 15 to the first 3 kids,
Yeah.
so we're down to 85
Okay. So
plus our starting.
realistically,
33 each.
yeah, 33 each with a floating coin. I would probably just.
It'd be
either
20.
one of
It'd be
you guys.
25 each, and there'd be a 10 float. That'll go. It'll probably end up going back to you, Zeris.
Truthfully speaking, yeah. I'm gonna give the remainder of my coin to Bruno. Bruno, you've been around the longest. You said I trust you to take care of this. I trust you to distribute this and use it where you need to. Might I recommend? RA-THERIS, you said that you could clean them.
Indeed. Though I cannot do it while amending the building.
Understood.
I can also repair their clothes and, if necessary, perform minor enchantments.
One step at a time. Let's focus on the holes in this house first while we figure out something about this food situation.
ZERRIS is going to look at RA-THERIS with a minor panic attack because he's very useful, and that is something that ZERRIS would have made, and is very concerned that the rumors are true now.
If
Any
food is
other-
required, hunting is the most obvious
I
answer.
thought you could say you were going to say you could create food. I was going to lose my goddamn mind.
Hunting would be the easiest answer. Alternatively, acquiring food via coin is second best. If necessary, parts of meat can be cut off.
No,
and
we are
and
not
noodle accept.
condoning
Let's stop that
cannibalism.
thought before it starts. Let's stop that thought before it starts.
It is
I
not
don't know
cannibalism, Zeris, as I am not humanoid.
Yep,
Let's
not.
stop that thought before it starts, please.
Bruno, so in total, I believe,
Bit of a lunatic.
in total, distributed amongst the children should be, I think, what is my full share of coin, which was, what did we say?
If we did 25, 25, 25 with a floating 10, and you already gave them 15, you could give them 25. And then it's 4 equal shares across the board.
I'm cool with giving them everything that was owed to me. I have no issue. Out of character, I have no issue giving these children my stuff. It's just a matter of getting account for what they have now. So my share, whatever share I had, they now have. So STIRIA, it sounds like you kept better track of the money than I did. I don't know why you guys fucking forced that into my hands. I have no... It's a bad idea.
I really gave you the bag of coin
Yeah.
just because out of character, the two have been around the longest and have been working together the longest, and it made the most sense considering we were on the most amount of missions together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It made sense to me, and I'm not going to tell you guys how to keep track of your money.
Yeah.
All that I ask is that you do.
Yeah. So how much coin do they have after the end of all this? Sorry.
If
So
they
there was
already got
15
a
initially.
share of 25, and you said you were going to give your share to them,
Yeah. So 15. So
They'll
they
have
should have
50.
they should have 25.
they should have at least 25, unless you're giving them your share, in which case it would be 50. While myself and NIAM both have 25.
I don't feel like I should have more of a share than you guys. I have. Okay. So cool. With total, they should have. I have 10 gold on my person from character creation, out of character stuff.
Okay.
Um,
Yep.
I will give the children 35 gold. So the share that we got from completing the job and my extra 10 that I just was carrying around. The children should have
Okay.
distributed amongst them 35 gold pieces.
Okay.
The rest
And
of
that's
it,
including the 15 that you gave them prior.
yeah,
correct?
that's including that. So
Cool.
it's total. STIRIA and NIAM have their share of 25. RA-THERIS has a share of 25. We are golden.
Cool. Can you hold that?
I don't.
I do not have pockets.
Okay. Sure.
You did not create me with pockets.
Cool.
Why didn't you
Anywho.
create him with pockets?
What I'm more concerned about is how long that money's going to last before they have to start putting to.
Indeed, a
How-
permanent solution is required.
So that amount of gold will last them for a while. But again, this.
But
this
how
is
long, though?
14. This is
Okay.
14 children.
14 growing children who are going
And
to
they
eat
have-
a lot.
And they
Yeah.
have to worry about food and clothing. And
You had something, Niam?
I want to ask Bruno if there's any more children. Is everybody accounted for right now? Is this it?
No, that's everybody.
Okay. Niam,
why do
sorry.
I feel like I don't entirely trust that?
So
Out of character, why do I feel like
trying to take the kids?
Go ahead, Niam.
No, please continue.
Bruno, how old are you?
14.
how old is everyone else?
Right.
See, the youngest is Sally. She's 5, and then that's all between 5 to 14.
And you're the oldest, I would assume.
It's second oldest. Then he points to the half orc child who is a little bit older, but not as experienced.
Let me ask you a bit of a serious question here.
Okay.
How long is that income that you just picked up going to last you until it runs out?
This should be enough to get us to the winter. So 2 months.
And what's going to happen after winter?
Well, hopefully we can get enough before that happens, because it's going to be a lot harder to get food in the winter.
I'm-
Go ahead, please.
I was more concerned about what's going to happen after the winter, because I know if everything works out well, people are going to be set for the winter. And worse, and push comes to shove, at the last week they could just go to the market and pick up some food before winter. But then I'm more concerned about after winter.
We can deal with that soon. For the time being, we should. That is a decent bit of coin. Bruno, I would like to accompany you to the market to make sure that you aren't cheated, to make sure that you aren't stolen from. I'm sure that there are others that have a similar mindset in rough times, and I would hate to see you fall victim to them as well.
I have a question.
By all means.
What is the age of adulthood for humanoids?
Insert DM's answer here.
So that does depend on the humanoid specifically. For most, that's going to be around 18 years. But there are some that may hit a point of maturity sooner, or in the case of elves, much later.
Secondary inquiry. For useful information, are these individuals considered of working age?
No.
The
Not
older two.
not quite. They're close, but
Are they of apprenticeship age?
What's
Actually,
sad is that
that's-
we both kind of had like the same line of thought.
yeah. So full disclosure, I'm actually not sure what that age would be. I imagine it might depend on the craft.
Depends on the craft, but on average, about 2 to 5 years prior to learn everything you need to learn in order to jump into the career.
Right, but is that usually offered to children this young?
If we're going off real world examples, about 10.
About 10. Okay.
Depending on obviously civilization and whatnot, but about 10 is what I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I would also say that there are
Um,
certain professions that a kid can have without it being looked at negatively.
Like clergy and the like.
Well, there's that, and then also the fact that even in today's society, there are kids as young as 14 going into the restaurant jobs or other part-time jobs to.
NIAM, you had something. I'm sorry.
Sorry about that.
You're fine. My concern is what happens when either the law or someone else discovers all these children living in this area. They don't have a guardian. They don't own this establishment.
right.
So technically speaking, the dwelling might be considered condemned and not owned, which is an entirely different state of affairs. But
ZERRIS, given their age, could you not take them as apprentices and they perform work for you?
Yes. However, the work that I do could be quite dangerous. I have an idea.
I have one myself.
I might be able to teach them if needed.
No, not the idea I was thinking of. Not the idea I was thinking of.
Let's Bruno, again, NIAM, STIRIA, RA-THERIS, if you would be so kind as to escort Bruno to the market so that they could gather supplies for the winter, that would be appreciated. I think I have an idea for a more permanent solution.
Okay, cool. I think I have a way of expanding upon that. I'm going to go ahead and take Bruno with me as encouragingly and as non-forcefully as I can, of course, over to the market, help him, one, teach him how to shop, and two, keep an eye on him so he doesn't get pickpocketed again.
Yes, that would be quite unfortunate.
How about we leave the money that was given to Bruno for them till later, and we will go to the market and I will take care of what they need.
That's also
unless we want to find out rather quickly how much a small abode would cost.
Easily several hundred.
What you all do is entirely up to you. How you want to do this. I have an idea for a more permanent solution. But I do need to make haste. RA-THERIS, may I speak with you?
Indeed.
May I have your full attention?
Yes, I could stop casting the spell and
Well,
I'm not facing you, but the illusion isn't facing you, but I am. Okay. I realize this, and then I go and
horrified.
So it's like, and then I go and I kind of walk around.
RA-THERIS, I am not comfortable giving you orders. I've expressed this, but I would like you to do me a favor. I need you to accompany Bruno and whoever else accompanies him. I need you to use your capabilities. I need you to guard this child. Any harm that may come to him, I need you to keep him safe. Can you do that for me, please?
I can, but that would impede my repairing of this facility.
Yes, and we will continue correcting that after they've gathered supplies. And when we return, I will assist you in repairing these facilities.
Understood.
Thank you, RA-THERIS. And I'm going to look to STIRIA and NIAM and tell them I apologize that I can't join you. But if I'm correct, then we may be able to come up with a more permanent solution. Thank you for your assistance in this. I don't mean to drag you along with what I've been told is a bleeding heart. And
To be fair, that bleeding heart has saved us more often than not. So.
And thank you as well, NIAM. We've only just met a few days ago, and you've been very helpful. It is kind of you to offer the solution that you did, to pay for their supplies and then be repaid. It is kind, and the gods will look favorably on you.
It's fine. Let's get them taken care of.
Let's go ahead and start making our way back towards the market.
Yeah.
There's someone I'd like to meet up with.
As far as the children that will go with you, it's going to be Bruno and then Burke, is who he introduces himself as, and that's the half-orc who came in with a bag of potatoes.
Where's the 5-year-old?
So she would actually be, excuse me, off on the mattress to the far right in the back of the room, wrapped in a blanket. She's one of the few in the room who could be covered entirely by the blanket, so it's not entirely useless for her.
Okay, I was just curious. So looking around really quickly, they need blankets and
They need
things like
food, clothing, some way of generating heat, and some way of improving their shelter.
Yeah, there's currently
Okay.
no generation of heat, although you can see in a smaller, kind of off to the side where part of the room had kind of been broken open. Kind of hard to tell whether or not they had actually done that or if it was already like that. And a small, almost a fire pit built into the ground. Like they broke the floor and dug a little hole there. And the part where the roof is broken is for ventilation. It's not the best, but it keeps them warm. And the reason why it's not burning right now is because with supplies being limited, they would rather burn it at night when it's colder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excuse me. So yes, those two will be going with you to the market. But real quick, ZERRIS, you have a plan.
Yes. If you want to take care of them first, that's perfectly fine. We can get to me after.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were ready to jump in.
I'm ready whenever. I just don't want to overshadow. By all means, you guys continue.
No. We have plenty of time to get to both, but we'll go ahead and we'll start with market then. Okay, and Styria, you said you wanted to meet up with Tanya and Todd that you were speaking
Tanya
to
and
earlier.
Todd, yes.
Yes. So with once you get back to the
Two
market,
individuals that I think should meet with these kids.
okay.
Because if there's one thing Tanya can do that I can't, it's handle some of the daily toil of life. Especially since I am completely alien to that sort of concept with my own physiology.
Right. And excuse me, she's not completely foreign to the area. She's passed through here sometimes in the past. So she may be able to provide some assistance in that regard with at least helping getting them situated somehow.
If nothing else, there's age on Tanya's side, right?
Yeah.
I would assume that she's probably older than me.
Well, I actually don't know how old you are, so that's a hard question to answer.
Actually, the age that I have set up is around 50, but as far as the human age equivalent is which is what I'm looking at, she would be more mature than I would be because my human age equivalent would be kind of small.
Right. Whereas with her, I believe I had her set at somewhere in the mid to late 20s.
So she would definitely be more mature than me.
Right. So while you're technically older, she's got to be in
Experience.
some experience. So, Yeah, no, a few minutes in the market, and you're able to find them again. They hadn't strayed too far.
Yep.
Todd's
Note
still
that
doing some
while I'm
some
working with the
shopping for
farmers
his
market,
family.
I am
So.
getting some basic like shopping tips, like compare prices to weights to figure out how much you're spending per X to get the most bang for your buck,
Right.
right? And to avoid the more prestigious brands because they tend to put a lot of their price in name only.
Right. And especially this being a town where there's a lot of travelers, there are certainly going to be shops that take advantage of people who just passing through don't know any better.
Yep.
Um,
For
so
some of the
once closer to the main road, you learn
things I'm a little bit more familiar with things like certain types of like herbs or fluids like water or things of that nature. Give them some general tips as to whether or not you as to easily identify whether or not something's supposed to be a scam without really being a dead giveaway. Like if they're saying it's like a natural spring water, and one, they don't give you a sample, which is usually about an ounce, right? An ounce of the spring water. That's your first immediate red flag. And then the second immediate red flag is if you taste the water and it doesn't taste crisp or tastes sulfury to a degree, then it's not spring water. Things of that nature, right?
Okay.
Up until meeting up with Tanya and Todd.
Gotcha. And Bruno will be taking notes of all the advice that you give him, because he's certainly going to be bringing this back to the other children, and to make sure to pass on that knowledge. Excuse me. Yeah, no, but yeah, you approach them and
NIAM trying to do,
children.
or look, they found us.
Okay.
Bruno, Burke, I'd like you to meet my friend Tanya and Mr. Todd here. Todd accompanied us into town, and Tanya has been an old friend of mine since, gosh, I forget how long.
Been a few years now.
Quite a few. Lots of stories.
So you said these children found you?
Right. As soon as we got done handling our business at the order, we came to the market with Todd to handle our little tour, and they happened to have spotted us as a mark.
You kept the coin pound shop on your hip, didn't you?
I didn't, but Sir ZERRIS did.
Yeah, this is not the best place to be doing that.
Although looking at the state of affairs here, it's not hard to imagine why some of the houses around here have definitely seen better days.
Yes. Keeping some of these houses maintained, especially during the colder months, can be hard.
Anyways, I actually wanted to see if Bruno and Burke could ask you a few questions, considering they've effectively been living on their own for the past couple of years, and judging from their current mode of profession, things are a bit desperate for them. So,
these. Yes. Okay. See, that makes a lot more sense as to why they were stealing from you. Oh, it's uh, it's been some time since I've been here, but the orphan population, unfortunately, was never zero. It wasn't uncommon to find children on the streets. But Yes, absolutely. I will help any way that I can.
Sort of give an earnest smile, look at Tanya, and it's like, "Thank you so much for that." By the
Of
way,
course, of course. Well,
I just sort of look back over to Bruno and go like, "If there's any questions or if there's any way that you could possibly think of seeking for help, please don't be afraid to ask Tanya or Todd any manner of questions."
now, Styria, Tanya is going to ask you, uh, have you tried taking them to the orphanage? Hey, we're not getting the feds involved.
I just look over and just like, they have a bit of an apprehension towards the churches and the orphanages. They're afraid of losing their friends.
Oh,
And considering that's all they have,
okay, I can see the apprehension.
to mention some lunatic in the city has decided to spread some sort of rumor about their order. Not too fond of that, honestly. I need to figure out what's causing it and how to put a stop to it because it's not
A rumor
kosher.
about the order.
Best way I can put it is that it's very unsavory and totally out of character to what we normally do.
I see. Oh, we'll certainly have to address that, but more importantly, uh, what is it that the children need?
Well, they definitely are going to need some food and some new clothes. And considering the state of affairs at their current residence, they're definitely going to need some way of patching things up,
And a
possibly
heat
way
source.
and possibly a way to get some heat into the building.
Okay.
And right now, I think their current running budget out of character is 35 gold.
Okay.
Just to double check.
Yep. I believe that is, yeah, it was 35 gold is what we're working with for them. So.
Yeah, it's like, as far as their budget's concerned, it's not too much. It's only about 35 in gold pieces.
I'm going to take care of what they need for now so they can save that for after.
Understood. Well, then, and that was for the food or for the clothing as well?
Everything.
Everything. All right. So I suppose with that,
With
you know,
both
being able
Bruno
to,
and Tanya there, I will pose the question of, is there a way we can provide them some sort of long-term care?
well, I can certainly stop by and check in on them, especially with the winter around the corner. Illness is common, especially in such conditions. Um, and depending on what they have for facilities, I may even be able to prepare some meals.
Okay. And then there has to be some way of setting them up with a venture that can provide them with the funding or resources that they need to stay afloat without necessarily going too clandestine in their activities.
Right.
Apprenticeship.
Obviously. Out of character, obviously, right?
Yeah,
But-
RA-THERIS is pushing apprenticeship.
I'm just gonna look. I'm trying to be about as delicate as I can with that subject, right?
And RA-THERIS is trying to be as blunt as he can with that subject.
Yes, and that's what's making it humorous, but also a bit aggravating at the same time.
A happy
So-
little.
Apprenticeship is the best option. We would be able to provide long term, and they could in turn work off their debts. Three of them owe us their hands.
You stop
There-
with the hand thing.
One, we're not
Are
messing
you-
with anyone's hands right now. Two, a charity is not a debt.
Who said anything about charity?
Well, if it's coming from an order, then it would be considered a charity. It's just how the laws work.
Weird law. Apprenticeship is the best option.
Question is, what
Does that
facility
involve
would?
taking our hands?
No.
The apprenticeship, we will be claiming your hands.
We are not
Will
touching
you
their
stop it?
I am not removing their hands. Their hands shall be put to work.
Oh my goodness.
In exchange, they will gain food, water, shelter, and even if they are good, a skill that can be used.
Your friend creeps me out.
Creeps us all out.
Who is the most intelligent among your children?
I was about to say something, and then NIAM just said that, and just like hit the nail on the head on that one. I cannot phrase it any better than what you just said.
It is the only permanent solution.
So, but as far as the smartest among them, these children, because of how young they are, they don't have necessarily much in terms of formal education, and that kind of depends on also when they lost their
Go
parents.
talk to Tanya about that.
Mhm.
Understood. Aptitude tests will be administered.
Oh Lord.
It's like,
Is there
RA-THERIS, can you please stop
brief?
using phrases that aggravate the situation?
Nicely put.
I do not understand. It is the quickest. It is the most efficient option.
I'm sure it very well might be, but there's a better way of putting it so that it's not immediately scaring people into thinking they're going to lose their hands.
We
I
can't
have never-
exactly hang signs around their neck and say, "Hi, can I be your apprentice?"
So, well,
Why not?
finding apprenticeship for 2 children.
Tactless.
Hang on. Tanya's trying to speak.
Finding apprenticeship for 2 children, that shouldn't be too difficult.
There's 2 out of 14 now.
Oh, good
We only
heavens,
require
14.
apprenticeship for the arrest. You
But
are
see-
clergy.
See, here's
Train
the
them
They're
as a
too
knight.
Here's-
little.
But see, here's the thing. Some of them can't. They're far too young. One of them's 5.
Oh, gosh. Um,
Bit of a precarious situation.
I do not see the issue there. That is an appropriate time to start learning math.
She's 5. She probably doesn't even know how to say her name.
I get the arithmetic part.
That is an appropriate time to start learning math, thus start wizardry training.
It's an appropriate time for education, yes, not necessarily apprenticeship. There's a bit of a
or
difference.
wizard training. That's a tad young.
And it's at extreme.
If she has nothing else to do, she will be a good wizard.
Right.
Okay.
Conversation is
There,
not going anywhere. RA-THERIS, if you don't mind. And I look over to
Oh.
Tanya, and it's just
I
like,
feel like it is only not going somewhere because you refuse to accept apprenticing them yourself.
How close are we to the market itself?
You guys are in the market right now.
Okay. RA-THERIS, do me a favor. Go find supplies to fix where they live.
I am
Board-
not. I was not ordered to. I was ordered to stay near this one. I cannot leave his side. He is to be protected as second only to my master.
I'm going to look over and I'm going to say, Sir ZERRIS has also given you the protocol that if one of us issues a suggestion, to at least hear it out.
It's fine. I'll
This is
go
a direct
find.
contradiction of ZERRIS' order.
Okay, I'm gonna go find what we need to fix the thing while you guys figure out what to do, because I'm gonna turn him into a windowsill.
Wood will be required. Standard boards like that one, and points to house made of wood.
Okay.
They can be shaped accordingly.
Thank
Oh,
you.
I'm saving that one.
That's great.
I'm gonna wander.
Mr. RA-THERIS, can you please go with NIAM?
No, he's fine here.
I am
I
unable
got
to leave the
this.
side of
I'm just
Bruno.
gonna mouth the words. No, he's really not.
Yep, have fun.
I am compelled
Like-
to stay beside Bruno,
Mm.
and will not leave his side. even if he runs.
I'm giving Tanya the help me please look.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. So Tanya will accompany, and Todd will as well, as far as acquiring the rest of the supplies that you would need from the market, in addition to the wood. So the
I
clothing, the
try
food,
to have a normal conversation without it being
misinterpreted, and also without making the children think that they're going to be.
they were already scared shitless once. We don't want to do that
Yes.
again and make them especially weary of the clergy.
Right.
At the very
We're not looking to escalate the situation.
suspicions or paranoia, because it's already kind of bad.
Right.
Oh man.
If some among them already think that children are being shipped off to be eaten,
Equal.
probably not the best look for the order and those associated with it.
Not in the slightest. Not in the slightest.
Right.
Not at all. So while that shopping is going on, we're gonna go ahead and hop over to ZERRIS and see what side of the coin. I mean, hey, first party split. So let's
Melt
see how
his
this
brain
goes.
with that command.
My first trip is to the local blacksmith.
Okay. First, so I have his information.
We are going to fall back on some bad habits.
Ooh. Okay. Interesting. Here. Where is it? Sorry, I have his information. I believe it was in here. My computer decides to work slowly. Excellent.
Not a problem.
Excellent. Okay, found it. So yeah, you come in. This is a dwarven gentleman. Very thickly bearded. Just dirt and soot all over his face. From just working on the forge, throughout the day. Hi lad, what can I do you for?
Well, firstly, good sir, I require a place to doff my armor. I have some inquiry for you. That would be all right.
Certainly. And he gestures over. There's a rack, a small room off to the side with a series of racks for hanging such things.
Excellent.
There's a few completed suits of armor in there that he has worked on, but there are some empty ones on the end as well that can be used to store yours.
I will doff my armor. Is this more of a private area? Is he watching me at all?
He can see inside there, but in the back corner of the room, it's a little bit more secluded. There's a bit of a thin curtain through. It's mostly so he can make sure that people aren't stealing his works.
Makes sense. I'm going to doff my armor and my shield, along with the javelin that I usually carry on my back as well. I'll keep my mace on my hip.
Okay.
And I will cast Nistel's magic aura, or Arcanist magic aura if you prefer. And I will throw that in the chat as well.
Yes, I was about to ask if you could detail that for us.
Yeah, I
that's one I
absolutely
don't use very often. So
I absolutely can. Basically, was what it does. It places an illusion. It lasts 24 hours. It can give a false aura of magical effect. I'm going to basically make it as if seem as if this armor, this shield, and well, it says specifically an item. Wait. A creature or object. Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna make it look as if the armor is magical. The spell can do the exact opposite, basically hide a magical effect if I so chose, but I have no reason to do that here.
okay. And so you said you're trying to do that with the armor and the shield. Does it work on both?
No, just the armor, because it doesn't work on both.
Understood. And seeing here, it's an action range of touch. So as you're touching the armor, you would be able to bestow that effect to it. So
Excellent.
all right.
It now seems as if it's magical armor, and I will lay the shield at the foot of the mannequin and lay the javelin, lean it up against it as well, and then step
Okay.
out of the back room and say, "Good sir, I need an assessment. I am looking to sell my armor. It is no longer useful to me. I think I'll be settling here for the time
Oh.
being."
Oh, days of getting stabbed are behind you.
Yes, finally.
Well, let's see here. And what you got here for me?
Well, it's your standard scale mail, at least in appearance. How adept are you at recognizing an enchanter's touch, magical sets of armor, good sir?
I'll say I bit embarrassed to say this myself, but I'm certainly more well, what is the word? Versed in the mundane, as it were, but I've seen a set of magical armor or two in my day.
Well, then I would urge you please to make an assessment. I'm looking to sell, as I said, and I want to give you the fair option of giving a fair price. So, by your assessment, sir.
I see. And let's. Hmm. Let's see. He's definitely going to be doing an assessment on this side.
If
I
it
suppose that would be more investigation on his end.
excellent.
So I'll make a quick roll for that, but go ahead.
No, I'll wait for his assessment.
Okay.
First rule of business: never make the first offer.
Of course.
Mother is rolling her eyes at me right now.
That's right. So, still getting used to the roll 20 commands here.
Not a problem.
We're just gonna get you for this one.
No, it's fine. I'll wait. By all means.
Running out of town.
Unfortunately,
You know how to deal with QA.
to deal with QA. Unfortunately, this gentleman got a natural 20 on his check.
Mm-hmm.
No.
You know, while he is not explicitly versed, he knows there is definitely something magical about it.
Mm-hmm.
He's not quite sure the nature of it.
Understood.
He's not completely turned off to it, but he has his suspicions for sure.
Absolutely. And that's only fair and as a businessman. I will exposit. It has served me well. I know it doesn't look like much. It's been beaten up, and the magical qualities are sturdy and fair up to this point. My only regret is that, well, this is a bit embarrassing to admit, sir, but was a gift from my father. His days in the war were long and hard, and it is still holds a great deal of sentimental value. I know that's. I don't wish to bore you with the details, but the ding here, and I'll point to one of the shoulders. His first encounter with an orc rover, large mace, you see. So many of these scars and dings are not my stories. I'm sad to say, but and I'll point to another one and say this one was stabbed by a yeti. Can you believe it? Made repairs myself. The magic hand still is intact. It's just a bit of dinged up. I don't want to cheat you, sir. What would you say is a fair assessment?
Of course. I don't have it handy at the moment. What was the standard price for the for a new set of scale mail?
So
Does
for a
anyone have that
brand,
handy?
so regular set of scale mail would be 50 gold pieces. For magical, I don't know, man.
Add the magic's rarity cost on top.
Right.
Yeah. And this was-
and since
So-
this was an enchantment to
Yeah.
the
It depends on what
durability-
kind of rarity you're trying to go for.
Arcanist's magic aura just shows that there is a magical effect. Basically, if he did an investigation, I could say that it belongs to a specific school of magic, if that helps. I would say, I defer to our resident wizard. What's a good school, RA-THERIS? What would a school be?
Shit Academy.
What do you think would be the best school for defending oneself?
Abjuration.
For armor to have.
It is abjuration magic. Thank you for the pop quiz.
Abjuration makes sense.
Yeah, so it's got some abjuration magic on it. So hopefully he'll think of it as like a plus something armor, and offer me.
Right. I could see an argument being made for some +1 scale mail.
Excellent.
Which
Between
that one falls under uncommon, correct? Or
Yeah,
it
which is 1d6 times 100.
6 times 100. Not weird.
Yeah.
So,
times 100 plus the 50.
Yeah, plus that 50. So
I see. All right. Yeah. So apparently, I'm glad you guys aren't in combat right. I've rolled 2 dice so far, and it's been max both times.
that's a good thing this time, right?
Yeah, that's a good thing this time.
This time,
That's a very good thing this time, because that means
that's a very good thing.
that's
Yeah.
650 gold.
That's gonna so 6. Oops.
So of course he's gonna try to shortchange you.
Perfectly fine.
I mean, This makes the most sense, right?
considering that it is a used item, so that's gonna
that's going to reduce the heist by half.
right. So that takes us to 325.
Mm-hmm. What if, good sir, I was to throw in, quite frankly, the javelin has never been used. Frey javelin, and I'm not sure the price of that as well. But if I was to sweeten the pot,
Javelin's going to be cheap.
I would
Right.
take half price on the shield, if that is acceptable.
Oh, you're looking to sell the shield and the javelin.
Correct. Hoping to
Uh,
rid myself of the lot, as it were, sir.
Oh, I see. And these are magical as well.
No, free full disclosure, the javelin and the shield are not. As I said, I never used the javelin. I relied on, and I'll tap my mace on the side. This one will hang above my bed piece. Hopefully sturdily.
Yes, of course. Now let's see. I'm sorry. Does someone have the prices?
I
for
do.
shield and javelin handy?
Javelin's 5
Excellent.
silver, shield is 10 gold.
Okay, so
Yeah.
we're gonna do 50% for both of those.
That
because
was quick.
you're bringing these in. These are not. He doesn't know if they if it's just like new or actually new.
Yeah, absolutely. Makes sense.
So
Cool.
best he can give you is best he can offer you is 50% for all 3. So 325, and then plus the 50 or the 50% off of those.
I
Would
would
be 5 gold, 2 silver, 5 copper.
like to
Oh, he did the math.
I would like to haggle.
I'm good with numbers.
Oh, like to haggle. Okay.
I'll start by saying, sir, your price, I will say, is relatively fair. However, I know that if I was to journey elsewhere, I could get a bit more for the armor at the very least. The shield and the javelin of no consequence. I'm more inclined to. You are so kind, I shall give them to you, if we can barter a bit on the armor. Would that be acceptable? Your offer is 325. I say, make it around 400, and we'll call it even.
I would say go ahead and give a roll here. You could do persuasion or deception if you're trying to do that. So really, whichever you feel is more appropriate in this situation.
I'm trying to persuade him. It is a lie, but I would like to use my inspiration in this moment as well.
Certainly.
Excellent.
Also, for
Fair enough.
clarification here, for all the players' knowledge, you can use the inspiration after the results of the roll. Because I've never found that to be very helpful. Because if you get a nat 20 on your first roll, you just wasted your inspiration.
Well, it's a 12.
12. Okay. And I'm gonna have him roll his insight there. And gentleman got an 18 on that.
Perfectly fine.
Sleep.
Understandable.
I don't know, lad. There's throwing in that. I think I could do 340 for you.
Bump up.
You know what?
Got it.
I'll take it.
But 400. Well, I don't doubt your credibility. Yeah.
No, sir. It's completely understandable. I used to be a merchant myself. And hopefully settling down and
man of the trade.
yes. I was gifted in leathers, leather worker. But
fine craft.
oh yes. But your price is fair, and I appreciate the increase nonetheless. Thank you. Shall we shake on it?
Certainly.
No.
Do that. He'll shake, and then excuse me. He will go to the bank. It's not his wise. It wouldn't be very wise of him to keep all of these coins right up at the front, in case somebody had ill intent, as it were. You know, somebody just going into a merchant shop with less than good intentions. But he will go and return with the 340 gold.
Excellent. I will thank you again, good sir.
Thank you.
I hope to see you around town.
Certainly. Yeah, you couldn't miss me. Actually, you might. I don't recognize you from around here. Are you just passing through?
I was just passing through. I'm shopping around for a home, honestly, and this will help for a payment. For the time being, I'll be spending.
Are you staying over at the Frostpit?
Correct.
Oh, then you probably ran into the missus.
Is that right?
Oh, she works over there. Sometimes she mans the stove, but other times she works the desk.
That's excellent. Well, I'll have to give her the good news. Hopefully, again, good sir. Hopefully we'll be seeing more of one another. I may settle here or nearby. I'm not much nearby though, so perhaps I'll be your neighbor.
Oh, I certainly hope so. You seem like a fine young lad.
Oh, and you as well, sir. But I must be off. I have some friends hoping to meet for a final round at the tavern.
Of course,
final
of
cheers.
course.
And
hey, I might just join you for that pint later.
Oh, by all means. And I will bid him adieu.
Okay.
Sling my pack over my shoulder, and make my way. The rest of my my dealings. I don't mean to take up all of your time, but I will not be haggling for the remaining things I need to sell.
Okay.
I will be looking for a general store and hopefully another leather worker. I'm going to be selling to the general store some fine clothes that I have, worth 15 gold pieces, and a merchant's scale.
A merchant. Oh, just okay. Selling the merchant scale.
Yeah, that is typically worth 5 gold pieces. If they wish to undercut me, I will fully accept it. I'll bite my tongue and resist calling them scoundrels. But those two things should fetch me 20 gold pieces, and the leather worker's tools that I have should fetch me another 5. So 25 if they are being fair priced.
Yeah, they would be taking them for half of their listed value.
That should be 12.5, 12 and 5 silver.
Okay. Yeah. You would have little difficulty selling them for that price.
Excellent. So let me add that 340. Let's see. I'm 12 and 5. Cool. I have one more task to do, but if you want to cut over to them, by all means. I have
absolutely
swindled my heart out.
So after struggling to handle supplies while we're trying to rein in ZERRIS and failing miserably because not ZERRIS, RA-THERIS, because RA-THERIS is RA-THERIS.
Yep. I love it when
With that.
characters or when players have rhyming names. It's great.
It was
So-
meant to be.
After struggling, but ultimately, I would say succeeding in getting supplies because I feel like there's not much of a issue in collecting things like lumber or food or clothes.
Right. During this time, while ZERRIS was doing all that, you lot would have had little to no difficulty acquiring some food, some clothing, and the lumber for the repairs. So,
This is probably going to sound really silly,
okay.
but is it possible to buy like I don't want to say stove, but stove for them to burn wood in that is going to keep them warmer?
And
I'm
actually,
not-
should be quite possible to find like a portable stove.
I could definitely see that.
The question is, what would be the
would-
price?
Right.
That is a great question.
So we're
Actually,
talking
I don't know if
potentially
that's
multiple pounds of straight metal.
Yeah, if it's raw
Right.
ironwork, might be better just to buy them a wide pan
Mm.
to burn things on. Collect
Like
the
a-
ashes.
Big cauldron.
Yes, but shallower because the larger it is, the more it's going to cost.
right.
Okay.
Right. The more material it has.
Like
Hmm.
so, like something just to collect the ashes in that they can once the fire subsided, throw the ashes out, something like that, rather than a whole stove. Because a stoves have been around forever, at least since the Middle Ages. So it wouldn't be impossible to find one necessarily in this kind of setting.
Okay.
And brick stoves have been around even longer. But
Sure.
this
It's also
it's going to be
possible-
expensive.
It could be. And I realize also the blacksmith might be able to forge something. For it could potentially be cheaper, but it would take longer for him to make rather than you being able to get it immediately.
Might be best just to work with their fire pit right now. Set the order, and then we'll build around their fire pit. If you set the order, we can.
Right. So we'll do the order with the blacksmith
Yep.
for something a little more permanent.
We are likely
Um,
going to need to do something with the dwelling itself first because they'll probably need to take measurements.
Right.
Yep. You would need measurements, and then if there's any. So if you were trying to do something non-standard, then he would need those specifications as well. But he could certainly make it.
Okay. Well, let's start. Let's
Hey.
make sure that we have something temporary for now. That's not. I mean, not super temporary, but temporary.
Yeah.
I don't want it to like burn the bottom out in 3 days.
Right.
Um,
You could possibly. I imagine a
Oh,
wood
hello.
stove would cost a little bit more. Perhaps like you could probably find a cauldron or something of the sort that might be able to hold some of the flammable materials safer.
Get a cauldron for the bigger meals, and then here's one. Mess kits come with a cooking pan
Oh,
and cost 2 silver a piece.
Now, do they have a space, a kitchen?
a kitchen? Kind of. It's not. I wouldn't
They
really
got a
call it
whole-
a proper kitchen. There's like some storage shelves. From
Okay.
it being a general store in the past. So like a front desk, as it were, with some cabinets and slots. For storage of food. It's not a proper kitchen by any means.
Okay. Well, I
Probably
don't
not
want to
safe
take
to
up a
cook on.
bunch of channel time with all of the costs and things.
Oh yeah.
So you want to
we'll
do that
handle it.
after?
Yeah,
Okay.
we can handle the costs afterwards because, I mean, I'm sure everybody would love to see how much a single pan costs. But if people really want to know, we can answer that on the back end.
Okay.
Reach out to us on social media. If you
Actually,
wanna know.
worst comes to worst, it would probably be no less than 5 gold.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because a
I'm
mess kit's
also
2 silver.
right. I figure we can afterwards make a list of what, and then you just steal all my money. But I want to make sure that we pick up toys. I don't
Ah,
know what kind of, just some toys too.
okay, yeah. You
Well,
could
while
probably
we're
find.
doing,
Oh, sorry, Stereo, you were saying something?
meanwhile, while we're doing all the shopping
Mhm.
and keeping RA-THERIS busy with collecting supplies, um, which I undoubtedly would expect him to be bitching and complaining the entire time because that's not his given protocol. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try
I'm not
to
leaving the kid's side if I'm
I'm gonna try
getting
to
support.
Fair.
squeeze in a word or
Treating them
two.
out.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to squeeze in a word or two to any of the older folks that I can, with the help of Tanya and Todd, to see if we can't find Bruno and Burke a little bit more,
Apprenticeships.
a little bit more of a white collar profession. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Well, excuse me. Burke being it's actually a good thing that these two were the ones to accompany you because
One, they're the
um,
oldest, and two, they're gonna have the most experience. So,
exactly. So with that, as far as apprenticeships, excuse me, um, so the half orc, for example, might be able to get an apprenticeship with the blacksmith. Um, from when you were there, you saw that. Yeah. Yeah, this guy's family now. So because as diligent as he may be, Bruno is a little side to be properly
bit
manning an anvil.
more, he's a bit more on the svelte side.
Correct. Um, whereas half orcs are, among other things, known for their durability.
So basically, the half orc just became the son of the blacksmith overnight, is what you're saying.
I would point out you are a knight and can train him.
I would also point out that I would rather they work somewhere where they're comfortable first.
But no, arranging for the for Burke to be set up as an apprentice for the blacksmith,
Oh my god, I'm being a fucking mother.
sorry, which I'm sorry, I realized I didn't drop his name. That was Melrick Broadforge, which I can drop in the chat for those who need it.
Get a sidekick. Shut the fuck up, Edge.
Uh,
Oh my god.
I just want to say that to our viewers on Twitch, thank you for the Encanto reference with the "We don't talk about Bruno." Just
That was gold.
thank you.
And about that, since you said it,
Oh,
is it possible to check with the other? Wow, brain damage. I smell toast. The other shop owners and things, possibly to a couple of the kids that aren't like itty bitty. Maybe they could sweep. They could, run
Yeah.
messages, things like that.
Yes, certainly. There's definitely some less labor intensive things that they could do. Like you said, general stores, they could sweep, they could stock shelves, excuse me, things like that. That well, some of the children, like the 5-year-old, she's not going to be able to find a job.
Obviously not.
She's too young.
We can just
And
say that we can take the time with Bruno and Burke
mhm.
while we're setting up the apprenticeship and getting the shopping done, get an idea of what each kid is particularly good at or what each kid particularly wants to do, and get them set up with someone who can help them do that thing while also keeping them fed
Oh
and
yeah,
sheltered,
absolutely.
right?
Absolutely in the realm of possibility.
Now to ask, is that going to require any kind of roles on our end?
I don't think it would necessarily require a role per se. It's more of something that with putting enough time and going around to these different the different merchants and what have you, um, you would be able to find somebody who could fit. Um, but you're not going to be able to do all of that today.
Right.
Just because
Obviously not.
there's a lot of kids. 14
The
kids
idea
is
is
a
to get
lot.
a start. The idea is to get a handle and get a start, right?
Yeah.
At
You
the
would
very
be able
least,
to find a couple
learn.
things.
At the very least, learn what the kids are good at today, and then we can work on getting the apprenticeships.
Yeah,
over the course
absolutely.
Of the course of the next week.
That's
also-
definitely a normal possibility.
Also being very perceptive of what shops there are, what is there any law that is visible, things like that while we're out, at least on NIAM's end, just to see, possibly looking for that little old lady, little old man that wants to help out with some kids, a prostitute. I don't know. I have visions of Oliver Twist going on in my head, and so we're trying to veer from that. But whoever works.
No Demon Barber of Fleet Street.
Hey, Sweeney Todd. Okay.
We're getting so many references in today, and I love it.
We can apprentice them ourselves.
So
They can
yeah,
learn useful skills.
Yeah.
He's
Like murder.
completely disregarding every bit of trade and commerce. Just
Shitting on every craftsman.
various professions that you find throughout. They're like guardsmen stationed throughout the town. There's not a whole lot of them. Excuse me. As far as the prostitutes, they're not really looking to take in kids into their profession. They would certainly look over children in need, should that be required. But excuse me.
Also, while we're handling
yes.
all that, are we able to get a general state of the level of livelihood of the town itself?
Level of livelihood of the town.
Is this a poor town? Is it a quote unquote third world town? Is it working class? Is it?
I
like
just
who's
found
other-
14 orphans. It's not a good town.
Yeah.
Obviously, right?
Right. So it's
Trying to get an idea
not.
of-
So to answer your question there, I would say there's a lot of it's predominantly working class. Though there are notable exceptions such as orphans. But there's not much in terms of largely wealthy individuals here. I mean, of course, with any town, you're going to find somebody who's got more money than they know what to do with. Excuse me. But also many of these people, like the orphans, for example, a good number of them could have lost their parents through a number of means. As you guys have seen in your short time here, the cold can be a harsh environment. So whether that was to the cold itself, to injury or hazards from traveling, which Yetis are not too far from here. Excuse me. So things like that more so contributed to the orphan population. That would probably be the largest contributor, is the hazards of the area.
Excellent. Sorry, continue you guys' scene. Apologies.
Oh no, you're fine. Did you have a question?
No, not quite yet. No.
Okay. Excuse me. But STIRIA, did that answer your question?
well enough.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, if you need me to elaborate on anything further than that, then I can certainly do that.
That gives me an idea of what the dynamic of the town is. If that makes
I
sense.
feel like we've just found a home.
indeed, we shall take over this town. ZERRIS will rule.
Oh
And
no.
I meant it, okay. Any home.
Your friend is really creeping me out. Like, is he really gonna? Like,
Do you want to know a
take over
secret?
everything and take our hands?
No,
wanna
he's not gonna take your hands.
I will
Oh,
only take your hands if you take from
So we're not
ZERRIS.
taking their hands, period.
Touch their hands and I cut your head off. How about that?
Goes over to walks in. Are we near the blacksmith still?
Yeah, we'll say you're near the blacksmith.
Alright, walks over, picks up
Gonna-
sword, walks
I'm
over to
gonna-
her,
I'm gonna.
hands sword.
Oh,
I'm holding it by the blade. You may take it.
you gotta pay for that.
You may take it.
Go give the sword back to the blacksmith.
You may take the head, if it
Go.
means you will cease.
I can't with you.
I just look back to the kid and it's like, you want to know a secret?
Place the sword back.
That person creeps me out too. I can empathize.
Glad I'm not the only one.
Oh no, not even quite.
Mm-mm.
As I say with that super high pitched pixie like broken voice. It's like, oh no.
Right. I don't know. Yeah. Have we gotten everything we need?
You have.
All right.
Yeah, you guys have everything. And excuse me. You were able to get it all back to the orphanage, or not orphanage. You guys, yeah, that's right. We said fuck the feds on this one.
Yeah, the orphan's home.
Yes.
Right.
A very severe apprehension towards any kind of establishment because of the fact that they take their friends. So
Eating kids. Yes.
Indeed.
the order does not eat kids. We know
Making
that.
them into bread.
That would be very inefficient. It would be much easier to make
Also,
them
that
into
is
soup.
very much Demon Barber of Fleet Street talking right there.
So before we start getting into too deep into the efficiency of what is the most efficient way to do that, ZERRIS, where do we find you?
My first stop, I may have two more stops, depending on how this goes. My first stop is back at the order to speak with that Loxodon.
Okay. Oh. Oh there.
It's a pleasure to see you again so soon, sir.
And you as well. What could I do for you?
I had an inquiry, and possibly a request, if I may be so bold. I've
Certainly.
become aware of the homeless problem in Nye Point. Particularly, I've discovered to say a handful would be an understatement. Several handfuls of children that are without home, lodging, food, and parents. I do not mean to sound accusatory, good sir, but I am eager to know what the order is doing to ease this.
Yes, of course. Well, you see, we actually provide a stipend, a monthly stipend, as it were, to the orphanage here in Nye Point.
These children are not part of the orphanage, good sir. They are afraid. They whisper terrible rumors of this place in and of itself. Now, I know them not to be true, but they are so fearful that they are not involved with any body of government here, nor the clergy. So I ask again, what is the order doing about those children?
That is a difficult question, my friend. As you see, while it is true we can provide funds, and in the example of the orphanage, it is sometimes the children either we can't get all of them. we certainly help those that we can and those that we are aware of. If they are as apprehensive to our assistance as you say, then certainly we cannot force them.
I understand, sir. As I said, I make no accusations.
No, none joking. That said, it is certainly not our prerogative to leave them behind, as it were.
I'm in complete agreement, sir. As such, I will be purchasing the home that they reside in. And with all hopes, making some necessary repairs, I would ask that the Order watches over them. Perhaps arrive in without cleric vestments, and perhaps they'll be more understanding. But at my current juncture, I can't commit myself to remaining in Night Point. In addition to a bit of oversight, favor from the Order for watching over them while I'm away, I would ask that a delivery of funds to the oldest, the ones that are most capable. I would like to be sending some of my earnings throughout my travels here.
I see. And that directed to effectively the estate, then?
The estate itself, the children will be in my care. I will...
I see.
The name of the child that is their leader, as it were, is Bruno. Bruno will act as my steward. He will handle the funds for the house.
I see. Well, I believe that can be arranged.
Thank you, sir.
I would say I will need some time to draft the paperwork, bureaucracy, and what have you. But,
Of course.
I believe by close of business tomorrow, I should have a contract drafted for
Excellent.
any such arrangements, and we can worry about the details, as it were, for exactly how much will be going to the estate, and that there, of course, will be the matter of securing the estate.
I was hoping for guidance in that respect as well. I have procured some funds from my own savings and from my own labors. I was wondering who you think I should speak to. Is there a mayor in this place? Is there a jarl of sorts, or a land baron?
Yes, the mayor. I believe we could go through the mayor for this, as far as obtaining the rights to the property. I hate to say it, but it would actually be quite beneficial to us if the previous owner had expired, as it were. Those sort of things tend to just go to the bank, as it were. In which case, securing the estate should not be of much challenge.
I will speak to him post haste, and should we reach a favorable agreement, then I will send you the contract and the deed to the house, to be, of course, at least the very least a copy. Of course, the original must remain in Bruno's hands, as again, he shall act as my steward.
Of course.
And
If you could return with those things, let's see. I suppose it's getting quite late in the day, but by tomorrow evening, if you bring by whatever agreement, the deed that you have, then I should have the contract by sunset tomorrow.
Understood. Thank you, sir. I thank you for your time and your patience.
Of course, of course. And should you need any further guidance, I will assist to the best of my ability.
May the gods' light shine upon us all, sir.
And upon you as well.
And I depart. I will, I wonder, I don't believe, yeah, I will be making my way to the mayor. If you
Okay.
want to cut over to them, by all means, I'm gonna make...
So I will say, it is a little later in the evening,
Figured
or
as
afternoon, as it were. So being able to schedule a meeting with the mayor this late in the day, that would be a little difficult, but he can absolutely get you on the books for tomorrow.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be perfectly acceptable.
Yeah.
so I've kind of been ambling about majority of the day, working some things out, and I assume that the kids and Tanya are probably a little bit hungry. So let's go ahead and grab them a quick bite to eat real quick.
Yeah.
And it isn't just potatoes and bread,
Yes.
of course.
I will, of course, then after scheduling my meeting, I will make my way back to the house to hopefully meet with my friends and the children.
Yes. So you're able to do so, and we've got
How much space would be
everybody
available at
back
the
together.
Frostbite?
Sorry.
How much space would be available at the Frostbite? The tavern that we stayed
At the Frostbite Inn. There, when you left, there were 3 more rooms, each with 1 bed.
Okay. Well,
Chances
how
are
many
people might check out, but the
and
last bit
how
of
many
knowledge you
seats
had.
available at the tavern across the street?
I'm sorry.
And how many seats are available at the tavern across the street?
Let's see. So there were.
We're taking all the kids to dinner. Is that what we're doing?
Well, specifically Bruno and Burke. If
Oh.
the other kids want to tag along, I'm not going to have a problem with that. But we've been running Bruno and Burke basically throughout the entire town for most of the day. So
No.
they're probably hungry.
So the kid. I mean,
They
at-
can
Right.
eat
at the-
potatoes.
We've probably
at the
given them
prospect
potatoes
of
and bread for the past several weeks. Let's get them something
I
a
will.
little bit more varied into their diet.
I would like to make a quick point of order as well. We had channel points
Okay.
spent on a minor change.
oh,
This is likely won't. This will not affect the story. But David, this will likely mean not a whole lot to you. But NIAM, did you say you helped purchase like toys for the younger children as well?
yes, I remember mentioning that.
Do I need help purchasing toys?
No, you said you spent. Am I correct in assuming that there are toys present for the children now?
Yes.
Edge the
Various
Nomad
dolls.
spent 50 channel points to have the toys be a handful of toys of the crew of the Amar's Wrath. So they have a toy of Vivum, a toy of Captain Swedella, a toy of Katrina, a toy of Therabor, a toy of Deus, and a toy of Riley. Though we may not know who those people are.
I love that. The
Hogs.
yeah.
Aww.
Yeah. If and you took note of those names, right? Because I don't want them to be forgotten.
Oh yes,
because
so I've got
that
the
is
names and I've got the description of the toys for if the children are curious.
even better. Yeah, no, you were definitely able to find all of those dolls.
Sounds like Penny to
a
me.
couple of balls for the children to play with as well, and various simple toys like that. So, but at the prospect of a warm meal, the children are all like enthusiastically ready to follow you to the Frostbite Inn and Tavern. Now you had asked about seating there. We've got 6 regular tables that could sit 4 each. We've got another longer table which could, I mean, it's kids. We could have them sit next to each other. Could probably get 6 or maybe 8 there. And then there's the bar itself, which I think only 1 or 2 of the children would actually be tall enough to sit at. But
The assumption that just going to be Bruno and Burke. All right.
Okay. Okay. So
Table
you
6 sounds about correct. That being said, if ZERRIS were to come along with the remainder of the kids, you got the table of 8 and the table of 4 to serve as the kiddie table and the adults table.
Oh, we're taking all the kids. We're taking all the kids, STIRIA. They're all going. They're all going.
Definitely.
So all of the children.
It's one of those, might as well book 3 tables and then we'll figure out the cost later.
Right. Just book it all.
No.
We have reconvened with ZERRIS, yes?
Yes. Yes, you have.
Excellent. ZERRIS, may I stay behind to begin repairs?
By all means, RA-THERIS. Yes. I would say as well, notably with us rejoining, I think STIRIA, maybe not NIAM, depending on how RA-THERIS' perception of me, but definitely STIRIA would notice that I am without my armor, shield, and javelin. I am in common clothes.
Definitely prompt a private conversation later, but not right now.
Just getting a brow arch from NIAM on that one.
Near something occurs to me. We've been doing this all day and it's later in the day, yeah?
Yep, it is later in the day.
Cool. Once we start getting children out, I'm going to start once we start moving the children, I'm going to start actively forcing them away.
Okay.
Go. Get out.
Because the illusion's about to break.
Get out now.
The illusion is about to break, so he's going to have to recast this.
Fair.
The children are definitely going to be afraid.
All right, Krabby, I'm taking the kids. We're going to go feed them.
And then just as soon as the last one is out the door, even before the door is slammed, the illusion disperses and door is closed.
There's green slime roaming around the house.
Green slime in humanoid shape right now.
He's a were-ooze.
Begins sending out pseudopods to begin construction.
Excellent.
So I would imagine this is going to take you quite a bit of time.
I will work until the children are coming back, at which point I will escape through the hole in the wall.
I see. And then
any of the holes in the wall.
Building at a later time.
Correct.
Gotcha. So yeah, you guys take the children. The dwarven woman that you saw before is working the tavern at this point. So she's preparing all the food.
I'm just gonna go ahead and just immediately open up with this apologetic look. I am so sorry for dropping this all on you, but
I am not going in that tavern. Just as a note to the DM, I know that woman's husband. I'm not fucking going in there. Just as a note.
Yeah.
Even more sus. Like, you okay? You don't want any
No,
food?
I'm good.
She makes it.
I'll take this group and we'll go to the tavern across the street.
But the building that's across the street is the inn, not the tavern.
I've got soup.
Nonsense! Come on in.
Okay.
It's cold out there.
Okay. I'm gonna just do my best to kind of ruffle up my commoner's clothes and just sink, maybe scowl a little bit, make my face look as much contorted as possible.
And of course, you're gonna go to the corner of the tavern where no one can see you, so you can be all dark and brooding.
Absolutely. This edginess has a purpose.
But instead of being edgy, you're being embarrassed.
Yes. Hopefully, not attracting her attention.
The reverse edgelord, I love it.
Yeah. No, but she's with all the enthusiasm that you would expect. She is taking down, preparing the kids' food, and this is the first warm meal that some of them have had in a long time.
If she's playing into it and is being happy and enthusiastic, I'm just gonna give her this sort of embarrassed smile of "Thank you so much."
Oh, don't even worry about it. I love it when people bring their kids around.
You really are a saint. You know that?
But yeah, she'll be coming back and forth with plates of food. And she did try to time it so that she had as much of their food ready as possible. So that
Niam's
way,
gonna offer to help her if necessary.
certainly, yeah. Yeah, bringing out at least handing out the food and what have you. Because 14 kids is a lot of kids to feed.
A lot of kids.
Right. That's why
yeah.
Niam's helping.
Yeah, plenty.
and while Niam's helping
plenty
with
of
them,
hot stew.
keeping the kids in order.
Yep, plenty of hot stew. When she brings it to Bruno, he's like, "This isn't rabbit, is it?" It's like, "Of course not, dear." So no pseudo cannibalism here.
No leporines.
I mean, would that be pseudo cannibalism?
Yes.
Harangon eating a rabbit? Yeah, that's close
But
enough.
but I'm fairly certain the rabbit folk are Fey people, so
Yes.
They are, but it's close enough to make him
It's
uncomfortable.
still distasteful.
Would you
It's
eat?
still
Would you
distasteful.
eat a monkey?
yes,
Oh my god.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
Oh Lord.
it's not cannibalism.
Oh my god.
Bruh.
DM, save us. Save us from this conversation.
Edge, knock it off. Edge over here saying, "I'd try a monkey."
I'd try one. No.
Oh, I
As
thought he
you
was
should.
gonna
It's-
throw channel points in there to have
You
us all
asked
eat
the
monkey.
slime.
We'll do it on stream. No, no, but you guys, yeah, you're able to. All the kids are able to get fed. No pseudo cannibalism to be had. His stew, for those wondering, is specifically chicken. Chicken for all of them because it's easier than making one special.
That and chicken is cheap, so
Chicken is cheap. Chicken is very cheap.
We should have got them chickens.
Should have gotten chicken. You still can technically.
Oh, I know. I just
Right.
thought of it. Okay.
it's just
If
You're a
shopping,
druid. You can be the chicken.
no.
No.
What the hell?
I'm
so,
done with you today.
You
So,
can
for the
produce
end of the-
eggs.
You can shut up.
Ew.
Yeah, we
Hey,
moving on.
DM, save us, please.
We dial that initiative
So-
back.
So my question here would be like, so at the end of the day, the children have been fed. They've got some warm food in their bellies. They've got some new clothes. Excuse me.
Food. We've been able to find at least 2 job opportunities,
Yep.
or at
yep,
the very
least.
at the bare minimum 1 for Burke, because
Yeah,
the blacksmith just fucking adores that kid.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So with that, did you guys have anything like? Because I remember you guys got the or something set up so that they could have a little bit of a safer source of warmth throughout the evening. So is this a get them back home, get them all situated, and kind of check up on them in the morning kind of deal?
We could do that.
I will be sleeping with at the house with the children.
I was gonna stay with them if it was okay.
Oh yeah, totally fine.
If
I'm
Sir
unable-
Zerris is going to be staying over there, and considering his state of lack of armor,
Mhm.
I would feel concerned for his safety, and I would have to stay with Zerris, which means I would be staying at the house.
Understood.
Which means I may,
Sleepover.
which means I may
Sleepover.
end up freaking out the kids because I don't sleep.
Oh
Yeah.
dear.
Oh, that's great.
Oh
Well,
dear.
I do, and I must be a puddle of goo when I do so.
That's okay.
And I'm not going to leave Zerris alone at night when he is most vulnerable.
Be sleeping with Zerris, but outside the house.
We'll make it work.
Are we
Maybe
gonna
sleep
have
out
to
in the
tell the
cold.
children about the ooze?
Probably. Most
I will
likely.
turn into a block of ice in the cold.
Yeah, that'll be dangerous. Let's not do that.
We're gonna have to explain the ooze to the children.
I can stay in a bucket if you wish.
That'd be preferable.
All right. Do you have a bucket? I
Uh,
don't have anything except the cloak you gave me and my spell book.
That is so fucking depressing.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Edge got rid of all my gold, so
I
Well, I
have.
I was going to
if you're
have
a
Derek's
frozen tunnel,
gold.
somebody could slip on you like Home Alone style, and then boom, ancient home defense system.
Um,
Who didn't lay down the salt?
the best I have is a water skin. So I mean, I don't know if you can squeeze. I don't know. I don't know the logistics of that.
You found me in a bottle about yay big.
You know what?
so-
Fair. Yeah, you can sleep in my water skin.
Yeah.
All right.
Um,
not-
And then that water skin can provide the water for Styria, who
Oh.
needs her.
No, no.
No?
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna.
What do you got?
Well, I still have a little bit of extra income
Okay.
after paying for the kids' meals, which I'm assuming is going to be about 3 gold total.
I'd have to do the math, but I believe so. It
Let's
should be
assume-
about that.
Let's assume it's 3,
yeah, we
and then I had to
honestly,
spend
yeah.
5 silver at the bath. I think.
Yes, I believe 5 silver was what I had said there.
Okay, so I would be doing me getting clean before going back to satiate the 1 hour requirement that I need.
Makes sense. Okay, yeah, easy
And
enough.
then I'm just going to be percolated all night.
Yeah, kind of just watching out, like essentially providing watch.
Basically.
And-
When you guys do return to the house, everything has been cleaned. The building is in the best state of repair you have ever seen. The only thing that hasn't been fixed is the giant hole because none of you thought to buy tools.
Wrong.
You bought hammers and nails to fix the hole?
Exactly.
What was I gonna have you glue the boards up? I'm not the heller.
that is
Okay,
a
then
fair point.
the
Like,
holes
what
have
you
been
date wrong.
patched.
Okay, cool.
Everything is patched. Everything is clean. Those mattresses are spotless. It's like
on
it's like a gelatinous cube went over
It's on
everything.
my list. Building supplies.
Yeah, I would consider that to be building supplies. So
Cool.
Cheapest.
So when we get back and see the great work that RA-THERIS has done, be the first to step through and thank you, RA-THERIS. This is immaculate.
Your praise is unwarranted. I did not finish.
Okay. No, it looks fantastic. Please don't bow.
Can't with him.
This is
I could not finish in time. I am sorry.
Everyone thank RA-THERIS, kids.
Thank you, RA-THERIS.
I was not adequately able to create the appropriate items.
You did perfectly fine, RA-THERIS.
It was like 4 hours of work. Good lord.
Children, the kindness that RA-THERIS has shown you, I believe warrants him some patience and some
Hugs. He needs
understanding.
hugs.
All the
let's
children
not
will gather around
let's
and
not
hug
let's
RA-THERIS.
okay.
RA-THERIS is a bit of a clean freak. He does not like hugs.
No, RA-THERIS consumes all the grime that touches him.
Yeah, so when the children
As
hug
this-
RA-THERIS, they just come back cleaner.
Kids don't need to know about you being.
I didn't
Comfortable.
put the illusion back on. You just walked in.
Yeah, they seem to be okay
Yeah, so
with
like the children, like you could see because they haven't had a bath yet. They're still like their hand goes in and comes out and it's perfectly clean. That's just
I will start presidentating them to be bathed.
Excellent.
Oh lord.
Just
Line up for cleanliness for children.
That's going to be awkward to explain.
and now there is actually still the sleeping arrangements, as it were, because there are currently only 2 mattresses.
That is okay. I do have a blanket I'm going to be giving to the children as well, as part of
I
my.
have a bedroll in
Yeah.
my kit,
Yeah. If there's any bedrolls and the like.
so I can provide a bedroll for one of the smaller kids.
It's curious that you don't sleep. yet
On
you
my
have a
list,
bedroll.
I bought blankets.
Nice. Awesome.
I'll provide the children an extra blanket as well, and just kind of
Okay.
sleep in the corner.
Well, before you go to
Do
bed,
you require this robe?
I'm gonna look and go, Sir ZERRIS, can I talk to you for a second?
Yes. No, RA-THERIS.
Immediately looking over to RA-THERIS. Can I talk to him alone?
That is up to him.
Looking
You
back
require
to,
this
looking
cloak.
back to ZERRIS.
No, I do not require the cloak. I have my vestments and my clothing. I'll be just fine. Thank you, RA-THERIS. If you would give me a moment, I'll speak with STIRIA.
Shall I give it to one of the children?
I prefer you had that. For your warmth
Very
and
well.
your safety and comfort.
Very
As soon
well.
as I get
Thank you.
ZERRIS alone, I'm gonna look at him and go, okay, friend of friend, where is your stuff?
I sold it.
Sorry, what?
I sold it. I'll be purchasing the house tomorrow.
I'm sorry, what?
I've made arrangements with the order to check in on the children. Made them aware that Bruno is to be my steward, and I have an appointment with the mayor tomorrow to purchase this property.
What property are we talking about that would require you to sell the tools of the knightly order?
I wanted to make sure that I had enough. I am
But what property are we looking at here?
this very house.
It's definitely gonna need to get massively cleaned up if that's gonna be the case.
Hence the reason for the sale. I was able to barter my way into a good deal.
Okay. But are you sure you're gonna be okay without your supplies?
I have my mace. I have my faith. I am as the gods wish me to be.
Very well then.
I'll be fine, STIRIA. I am capable.
Just know that I worry when you pull stunts like this.
I'll be fine. It's a temporary setback. I will.
Last time you said that you were fine, I found you half drowned in a puddle of ooze. So
I'll be sending a portion of the earnings that I make while we are out and about back to this place so that Bruno and his the other children are taken care of. But in addition to that, what I do keep will go toward a new set of armor, a new shield, and let's be frank, I've never used the javelin to begin with.
are you? I need to think of some way of getting you some kind of defensive measures while you're.
All that I need is, and I'll tug at the holy symbol around my neck.
Clothe yourself in the armor of RA-THERIS.
Well, I'm just hoping that the faith doesn't. That the faith blesses you and doesn't fight you. You know what I mean?
And they may do what they wish. To be quite frank, STIRIA, I am a bit cross that the order was in this town capable. And they send a stipend to the orphanage, but the children that are not present in the orphanage, there was. I don't
Actually,
blame
on that note, that's. Although you do bring up a good point, if our order is here and our order is charged with the protection and longevity of the town that it is charged to, why is this town in such a state of disrepair?
Quite simply, it seems that the order is not have a large enough presence. But I aim to fix that in time. For the time being, however, the children are
We'd be getting more members of the order up here to do something about it?
It is something that is above my pay grade. As I say, the house.
Not necessarily above the pay grade of the cardinal that works here.
Correct.
We'll want to definitely have a word with him, her, them, as soon as we are able. So we're definitely following up with them tomorrow morning.
You may do so. As I said, if the order has, as I said, I don't blame them. Their presence is small here. But if their sight has fallen short, it is up to us to pick up the slack. And tomorrow I will be aiming to do so with an appointment with the mayor.
Okay.
I only hope that he's an agreeable man and will cut me a fair deal on this property.
Do me a favor and take Tanya with you. Out of character, I believe that she's supposed to be a local here.
Yes, I believe that is what I had originally written down. So saying that she had only been here a time or two before was not accurate.
Okay.
So yeah, she is originally from here.
Okay.
It's
So
been a few years since she's been here, but
so
she's
back to the phrase.
loosely
Do me
familiar.
a favor and take Tanya with you. She would know the laws of this land better than we would. She would be able to help you navigate that situation.
Perhaps.
Perhaps she would. Like, she knows things that we don't. Take advantage of that.
Yes. So out of character, we didn't have a whole lot of time to discuss, and I didn't quite send, a 3-page essay to you, STIRIA, out of character. But I think the next thing that ZERRIS says is probably going to be a red flag. The fact that he was a merchant is a very, it's an easy habit to fall back into, and he enjoys the adrenaline that comes with bartering and trade and such. Back in character. Perhaps I prefer to do my my negotiations in private.
Considering what happened with Derek, and mind you, we still don't know the full story behind why Derek decided to be engaging in the business that he was. I would prefer you went with someone else just to make sure that you were safe.
Understandable. I will
Tanya knows this place better than even I do.
I will bring Tanya with me to the mayor. You are correct. I should a local presence would be advantageous.
At the very least, they'd be able to give you an idea of what to say.
Correct. Yes.
Because the laws are different from town to town, and having that home field advantage will help.
Yes. You're right. Thank you for your counsel.
Just try to see things in the most neutral light I can.
I admire that. I will, think I'll tell the children a story before we lay to rest.
Sounds about fair. You go ahead and get inside, do what you need to do, sleep well. I'll make sure we're nice and locked up for the night.
So I would imagine locking up would include essentially doing rounds, making sure just a general
Basically,
look and getting an idea for the neighborhood.
NIAM only needs to trance, so she's only going to be out for half the time, and since I don't need to sleep hardly at all, really,
right.
It would make the most sense if the two of us did the rounds.
Right.
Right.
So yeah, it is a cooler autumn night here. There's obviously still snow. It's more or less a light flurry. Yes, sirs.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. If I could possibly catch NIAM before night falls and we begin rounds and such.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's totally fine.
Would go to
He's
NIAM.
inside playing with the baby.
Yeah.
Well, the 5-year-old.
NIAM, what do we owe you for your efforts?
What efforts?
I'll look at the toys and then the now patched hole that RA-THERIS took care of. The supplies, the building materials,
What does who owe me?
I don't know how to say this. It wouldn't sit right on my conscience to put you out of your own coin for this. Please, if I could repay you.
No.
May I ask why?
Look around at the kids in the room.
Yes. They seem quite happy.
They needed help. And they're kids.
It is rare that we find a kind soul in STIRIA's and I's line of work. Most on our missions are in it for coin or for glory. The kindness you've shown today to these children will not be forgotten.
They need help. Let's help them. There's more to be done.
Correct.
They need a more permanent situation.
Oh, that'll be taken care of tomorrow. I'm buying the house.
That where your armor went.
To a good cause.
If you need help with that part, let me know.
No, we should be well taken care of. I was quite the negotiator back in my day. We'll see if I still have the knack for it. The mayor should be an agreeable man. To be a mayor, you must be a skilled politician. But up here, it seems that competition may have been a bit light for his office. I imagine he may not be the most skilled of politicians, so I think I should be just fine.
Was it wiser to look for something in better shape, or?
I would prefer the children remain in a place where they call home. A sudden change. Uh-oh.
So
Oh, we got you back.
glad we just need the camera back up.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't know I went bye-bye.
Yeah. I would prefer the children remain in a place that they are familiar with. Too much change all at once can cause light trauma, even if it is good things. Plus, this way, they don't, as terrible as it sounds, they don't get in over their head. They don't feel as if they are rich and overexpend. And, hopefully the rundown outward appearance will take care of the interior. But the rundown outward appearance should stay in case other rival potential thieves guilds, children, ne'er-do-wells come by and think that they may be easy pickings. They'll overlook a desecrated home. With a tight security system on the interior, of course.
I was watching people while we were in the market to see if there's anyone else that might be able to keep an eye on them. Unless, of course, we're planning on staying.
As much as that would bring me joy, I don't believe I can stay. But the order will send someone.
Precisely why, though?
Why can't I stay? I have to. I fear I may settle into old habits here. It's best I stay on the move. It's best I stay with what I am second best at rather than what I am best at. At least for the time being.
We're at least going to take the couple days to make sure that they're okay, right?
Of course, of course.
Okay.
At the very least, another full day to get things taken care of in order, paperwork processed and done. We'll see. I'll alert Bruno of the good news as well. So.
Styria, I remember you said you were going around locking up, making sure the place was secure for the evening, prior to, everybody going to bed. And it's a relatively calm autumn night. There's a little bit of a snow flurry going on, but not much of a breeze beyond that. It seems like it'll calm down and clear up even more so, as the night continues. But as far as securing the place, you are absolutely able to do so, and things are locked up and ready to go for the night. Real quick, ZERRIS, I remember you saying that you were going to tell the children a story before bed.
Yes, yes, I will.
Yeah. Did you have something prepared, or do you want to
Yeah.
the story? But by all means.
I will tell them a tall tale, likely derived from myth and not true, really. But I will tell them the tale of a interplanar captain who travels the multiverse, righting wrongs and doing good. I will tell them the tale of his organization, the Vanguard, that he founded in order to provide goodwill and help to people like them, people in need. I will tell them the tale of the wars that they fought, the planes and worlds that they saved, the people that they visited. I will tell them the tale of the captain who sails among the stars and puts others before himself. And it is a tale that I had heard likely as a child, but ignoring its message of goodwill up until joining the Order.
And as you tell the story, the children are just absolutely entranced. For some of them, being too young to really remember a time when their parents would tell them such stories. The others that do remember such things definitely remember. This is almost a sense of fond nostalgia for them. So, and the younger children, try as they may, some of them are dozing off as you're telling the story, despite their efforts to the contrary. But no, by the end, they were asking you to tell more, of the stories, like it. And then what happens?
As we reach into the night, and those that still fight to stay awake, I think the last line I'll say is, this was not the end of the Vanguard story. They spread throughout the multiverse and sought out people just like you to aid, to heal, to assist. This was not the end of their story. They went on to do great things. They may have split apart, but they kept the good captain's dream in their heart. Time for bed, children. We'll tell you more tomorrow night.
Met with some groans, but but they concede and make their way off to bed.
Ian's groaning too. She wants more stories.
Just add in that humorous line of, all right, but if you stay up too long, you're going to have feet for eyes.
What? Oh, that's right. You're Faye. Like, I wasn't sure how those two dots connected, but that makes a lot more sense when I remember where
That
you're
and
from.
also it's a reference to crow's feet. So
Fair enough. Yeah. I didn't make the connection
But-
right away, but
but-
I could see it.
like, I mean, you can stay up if you want, but if you stay up too late, you're gonna have feet for eyes.
Words to live by, I suppose.
Uh,
Indeed.
No, but
not necessarily
with-
saying no, it's saying yes, but.
yeah. No, with that, the children are off to bed. The older children that were able to stay awake during that, more or less carrying the younger ones who couldn't stay awake over to the bed. To either bed. And they're more or less huddled around some of the younger children typically being given priority as far as a place on the mattress. With the older ones, some propped up against it, using it as a sort of makeshift pillow, and others laying next to it. But they all go to sleep without much issue, having been cleaned, been fed, been given a story, and then that. Really, with that, it's just where are you guys gonna be during all of this?
I'm gonna come up to ZERRIS right quick. ZERRIS, I have taken account. You are no longer marked.
What do you mean?
Your mark, it has been degraded. It requires reintegration. And there are several other marks missing. I fear death of several others.
What?
I feel like both me and Zeris are like, I'm sorry, what the fuck?
w-
I need to fuck.
What does that mean?
Nani in the fuck?
Death to several others. What do you mean?
I have taken the liberty of finally accounting for the marked ones. I am missing several.
The marked ones.
Indeed.
RA-THERIS.
Of your 700 companions, it appears roughly 629 of them are no longer marked. As well as of the lower tier marked ones, I am missing over 4,777. However, I cannot confirm whether or not others have been lost.
These are creatures.
Your mark is certainly gone.
creatures.
however.
These are creatures like you.
No. I was unable to mark oozes.
But these are what you've described as my servants, my
Your companions, your personal guard.
personal guard.
And the other servants, such as your wizard corps, the Lord Assassinant,
Can you
and other high-tier assassins are no longer registered.
Can you detect where these marked ones are?
No, only
RA-THERIS?
that their marks are active. I can use detect person on them, but I didn't have lost that spell.
I understand.
Find creature, perhaps it is called now.
We will
I
We can
request
discuss
that you use
can
10
discuss
gold
that a bit
pieces to acquire the appropriate ink so you may be remarked.
yes.
Are these individuals to become members of your canoe companions?
These are my companions, RA-THERIS. I think that any sort of
I
markings
don't think
or
I don't think a mark would be necessary.
Yeah, I don't
Honestly,
I think that any sort of markings or tattoos is left up to them. I will
Without them, I cannot properly support, as it vastly limits the range of my abilities, such as the communications.
looking over to Zeris, like,
I will acquire the inks in the morrow and have myself remarked, and we will discuss what exactly that means
in the
and-
future. But right now people are tired. We're probably not thinking the most clearly, so people need to rest.
You should also rest, RA-THERIS. Thank you for the information and thank you for the warning.
Understood. I will attempt to take better account of what marks remain later. However, this is a tenuous process if they are over 1,000 feet away.
That's perfectly fine, RA-THERIS. You should rest and recharge, as it were.
Understood. Falls into a blob on the floor.
I'm just gonna
It's okay.
scoop him.
That is a beautiful image.
Just into like the stereotypical slime, just blob on the floor.
I also like how both me and Zerris were like, okay.
That's fine. It's fine. This is fine. This is fine. This is not the weirdest thing he's done.
Can we just cover him with a blanket? What do we do with that?
Yeah, I'm gonna take a blanket.
Or
and
like
just-
put him in a bucket.
I did have the cloak on me.
Yeah, so just like almost spread the
There you
cloak out and just there you go, buddy.
Is that cloak still in 3 pieces, or was that?
No,
made?
it's the cloak he gave me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cloak. Okay. Okay. And that answers the arrangement as far as RA-THERIS, as far as how he's going to bed. Who was gonna take the first watch, and then who's off to bed?
I'll
I believe the 2 people who don't sleep are taking the watches.
Right.
I'll gladly pull my weight and take whatever watch is required of me.
Understood.
We're gonna let him sleep.
Yeah.
Just
Not wake him up for his watch.
I'm kind of looking at NIAM and it's like, that actually
Just
sounds
wait
pretty
until the 8 hours is up and say, "Hey, it's time for your watch."
Pretty much.
I feel like I would actually do that as a prank.
Yeah.
You know what? I might out of character. I might do that. Out of character, I might do that. Just like a literal harmless prank.
So yeah, with that,
In fact,
Ferris,
I might even let him
would
sleep in
imagine
a
you're
little
off to
bit.
bed then.
I might even
And
let
then
him sleep in a
whoever's
little
taking
bit.
the watch, we can worry about that next time because I think this is a great
shit,
spot
it's
for us
almost
to
10.
wrap it up. It is. We went quite a bit longer than we have previously, but you know
Good.
what? There was a lot going on, and I'm happy with it. Hopefully, I didn't keep any of you up too late.
No, you're good.
But yeah,
So to
no,
recap-
we're gonna wrap it up here. That concludes this episode of Colder Than a Twitch's Wit. Hope to see you
So
guys
to
back
recap-
next week. Yeah. Hope to see you guys back next week. And Gilbert, you are the man with all of the knowledge of things on what we push at the end. So the floor is yours. You're
Muted. We should have just let him keep going.
I've been real upset.
Not that mean.
we of course have been the Rolling Nomads. We appreciate you guys for showing up here. You can find us, of course, every Sunday, right here at 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for Colder Than Twitch's Wit, our D&D campaign run by the outstanding Dungeon Master David. We thank you so much, David, for running this game, for giving us this story, and allowing us to swindle your blacksmiths.
This time.
Yeah,
It was
before-
for the children.
for the children. On Wednesday, we do a gaming stream right here on twitch.tv/Rolling Nomads. It's kind of a whatever we feel that week. This past week we did a day later, and it was Dead by Daylight, and I screamed a lot, and because that is
Quite a lot.
yeah, I'm a
Oh
coward.
man.
I missed that.
Spooky.
Damn.
It was so bad that when Twitch sound alerts went off, you shuddered like a baby
Yeah.
and were like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, the sound alerts made me jump. And like
It was
Twitch.
great.
It was so yeah, we might be doing more of that. We might be doing STIRIA. We might be doing some other stuff, Marauders perhaps. We'll see. Well, you guys can make your voices heard over on our Twitter. Yeah. Of course. Normally we have our Sabbat Chronicle on Friday. We are in between seasons right now. Season 1 has ended. We are going to be starting up a sort of mini series in between that, the episode or the seasons 1 of season 2 and season 2 of Book of Saints, where it's going to be a Hunter Chronicle, where hunters enter into Mexico City and are likely vastly underprepared for the Sabbat resurgence in Mexico City. So let's be honest. We'll see how they do. You know, we wish them luck. The World of Darkness is a terrifying place. But we'll get you more information on that very soon. And of course, on Sundays at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, so 2 hours before the beginning of this, I say 2 hours. 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, over on twitch.tv/theonyxpath, you'll find us doing our Scion game, Scion Godsend. The gods' children are they have just completed their ban term deed. They have sort of formed the rough outline of their new pantheon, and they found out Dionysus is a dick. They found out that I think at this point they figured out that the gods aren't all they cracked up to be. And they're on their way to go kill the king in yellow. They found him, and they're gonna go fucking stab him in the
fucking
eye.
shot at that man. What are you
True,
talking
we
about?
didn't-
Find him
we ended
on
on-
our way. The bullet was leaving the barrel, my
we
friend.
we ended on a
And we
cliffhanger.
paused.
Will gave us a witty one-liner. We ended on a cliffhanger as the bullet was leaving the barrel. So that'll be interesting. And that's over
great.
again. That's over on twitch.tv/theonyxpath. That's our Scion Godsend game. How can you keep up to date with this? Where do you go for information about the Hunter Chronicle? How do you know when we're going live? What about late starts and things like that? Twitter, my friend, is a burning ship, but we're still on it for some fucking reason. @_rolling nomads is where we are located, where you can get the best information, at least for the time being, about our late starts, our new programming coming up, any information about our streams and all that good stuff. We also do polls and stuff on there for like game-changing stuff, and I'll be putting something up this week to decide like, hey, what do you guys want to see for the channel point menu for this game? Of course, we'll bounce it back off of David as well, so that we can,
Of course.
make it so it's not, disruptive to the story that he has to tell. But
I'm
yeah,
fine with some crazy shit, so we'll see.
uh,
There's plenty of crazy shit to come.
Twitter @_rolling nomads, and of course on Hive Social, we are @rolling nomads. We got rid of the underscore over there because we claimed our fucking name quick. But their servers are down, so we're waiting for them. And there are a team of 2 people running a social media platform for millions, so I have infinite patience for them. They're doing great. But yeah,
They get
Twitter
fast.
and Hive Social is the best ways to reach us. @_rolling nomads and @rolling nomads respectively. You can find these episodes on YouTube, Cold on Twitch's Wit and Scion Godsend, with Book of Saints being part of a mass upload very soon. Usually Cold on Twitch's Wit and Scion Godsend are uploaded on Thursdays. However, this week I was sick. I'm still sick. So have some patience with me, please. I'll get them up as soon as possible. Yeah, youtube.com/rolling nomads for all of our streamed content at a later date at your disposal when on your time frame. That is about all I have for the nomads, man.
Okay. Did anybody else have anything to plug?
At the moment.
I don't exist.
Oh. Yeah. So with that,
False, I have something to plug. My name is @Ramos the Nomad everywhere.
Oh,
TikTok, Twitter,
oh.
Twitch, Instagram, all the things. @Ramos the Nomad, baby. Follow me.
Hell yeah.
Continue.
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
Wow.
Baby.
Yeah. So with that, we've been the Rolling Nomads. This has been Colder Than a Twitch's Wit. I've been your host and Dungeon Master, David Gagnon. And yeah, I've got nothing else to plug. You guys take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you back next time.